That was my angel. You know, she was a straight A student, very smart. Before my baby to tell me some of the things that they, said to her, I was just like, where are they learning this from? I know just seeing my baby laying there, not being able to say nothing to me, is what's gonna really do it.
We're all kind of really surprised and not really sure how we got here.
Parents of a 12-year-old girl from New Jersey are suing her school district after the child took her own life following what they say was months of relentless cyberbullying.
And she would come to me and say, girls were teasing me, calling me names, sending me these pictures on my, texting me on my phone.
Diane and Seth Grossman say their daughter, Mallory, was avoiding school and complaining of headaches and stomach problems. Her grades suffered, her parents claim, all because of what other people in school were saying to her in person and on social media. The Grossmans say they took their complaints to the school, but their concerns were dismissed.
All the way up the line. Nobody did anything.
Then in June, a week before the end of the school year, Mallory took her own life.
She was an athlete and a cheerleader and gymnastics, and she's a sister, she's a niece, she's a granddaughter, she's a daughter.
While nothing can bring their daughter back, the Grossmans say they want the Rockaway Township School District to be held accountable for its alleged inaction. They are also considering suing the parents of the girls who they say bullied their daughter, all in the hopes of preventing another child from doing what Mallory did.
I think parents need to be, aware of what's going on. I think that it's no longer okay to say, not my child.
The Rockaway Township School District did not return calls for comment.
It's been nearly 4 months since Cornelia Reynolds discovered the unthinkable. Her 8-year-old son dead in his bedroom. Gabriel had hanged himself from his bunk bed.
He probably didn't want to say, Mom, somebody bullying or picking on me, He just didn't know how to tell me.
Reynolds spoke with our Cincinnati affiliate, WLWT, days after Gabriel's death and says she was never told her third grader was being bullied. But tonight, this video has been released showing an alleged assault in a school bathroom where Gabriel is knocked unconscious 2 days before he ended his life.
The school district never told Mom that there was a video. They never told Mom that he had been assaulted.
Family attorneys were given the video after they began asking questions. The school district denies any wrongdoing, saying in part, though the connection between this incident at school and Gabriel's suicide are not clear, the district shared this video with police investigators at the time of the incident. Their investigation has concluded and no charges were filed. They say a school nurse checked Gabriel's vitals at the time, which were normal, and called his mom. She says she was only told her son had fainted.
They busted my baby's lip, they busted his nose, and Gibby, I'm sorry.
This new video is prompting the coroner to reopen the death investigation as Gabriel's mother wonders what could have been done if she had only known.
Instead of spending Sunday night preparing their kids for school Monday morning, the Avila family is preparing to release their daughter from life support.
I'm here right now today to be angry because my daughter's no longer with me, and angry because of these bullies continuing to bully.
Freddie Avila says his daughter Rosalie hung herself and left a letter for him to find, saying she couldn't take being bullied anymore. But even after news spread that Rosalie committed suicide, family says students still made fun of her, posting this image of her face near a grave online, mocking her death.
So hard, it's just so mean to just do that. It's not funny. You know, it's not funny to see that image of your daughter and to be mocked like she's crap and she's not. That's my daughter.
Family says they took these concerns to Mesa View Middle School officials, but nothing was done.
Right now, the bullies are still there. They suspend them for a couple of days, they come back and they bully somebody else.
And that's the bigger problem. Family says they've been contacted by dozens of people saying their kids are being bullied also, especially on social media where the insults circulate rapidly among their peers.
The things that they post on social media about my daughter is unacceptable. The people that liked it, that fed into it, it's painful and it makes me angry that to know that they have no heart.
To victims, the Avilas say stand up for yourselves and report bad behavior to adults. To adults with kids guilty of pushing other students around, they say if you don't check your kids, you're the problem.
I'm gonna tell you this, you don't wanna be in my shoes. You don't wanna be in my shoes dealing with this and trying to figure out where your daughter's gonna be buried at.
Parents say moving forward, they want the school to reprimand students who bully other students so that they know it's a serious issue and it will not be tolerated. We're reporting from Loma Linda, Leah Uko, Fox 11 News.
Tonight, a sad and very painful story to report, but a story that is so important in the fight against bullying.
A 14-year-old girl dying by suicide in Ocean County, New Jersey, taking her own life one day after girls in her class beat her up.
One day afterwards, well, now her father and fellow classmates demanding accountability from the school. A disclaimer, some of the video may be tough to watch. Here's Michelle Charlesworth.
This is the school hallway assault posted online, followed by online bullying that this grieving father said caused his 14-year-old daughter to die by suicide. The cell phone video was taken 1 week ago. Adriana died Friday.
They think it's fun to attack people and make videos and post them. Getting hit in the face with a water bottle didn't hurt Adriana. What hurt Adriana was the embarrassment and humiliation. They just kept coming at her.
Michael Cush has not slept, trying to mourn his daughter and get justice for Adriana. The freshman was hit in the face with a full 20-ounce water bottle 3 times. On the video, punched and kicked, her hair pulled at school while classmates laughed and recorded the attack. What is all of this about? He says seemingly nothing but meanness and bullying. He says his daughter deserved none of this and was tormented after the videos were posted online and then when she saw nasty comments.
Adriana was the most happy, beautiful young lady in the world. She loved animals.
According to the father, 4 girls have been charged now with 3rd-degree felony assault after her death. No confirmation from the prosecutor's office. The school superintendent says in a statement, this was a tragedy.
She blacks out, and they don't call an ambulance. They take her to the nurse's office.
There have been protests by students and parents outside the school saying this kind of thing has got to stop and has happened before. He stresses there was no accountability, no consequences for the 4 girls who went after Adriana. Had there been, she may not have felt so terribly alone. If this were taken seriously, he says, police and ambulance called, and the girls punished immediately, perhaps expelled, he's convinced this would have been very different.
My daughter's never been in a fight before. Literally, she's 98 pounds. She's 5'2". And she loves everybody.
In Bayville, New Jersey, Michelle Charlesworth, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
What a brave father in his grief to do all this and fight for his daughter's memory. We want to take a moment tonight to highlight and provide the National Suicide and Crisis Helpline. If you or a loved one needs help, give them a call. It's just 3 numbers, 988. The Lifeline operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
The mother and father of a 12-year-old boy who sadly died by suicide this week, now sharing a message to other families who may be struggling. We want to warn you, this may be hard to watch.
Fox 13 News reporter Spencer Joseph joining us after speaking with the boy's family, who is calling for good in that community tonight with the hashtag #DoItForDrake. Spencer.
Yeah, that hashtag going viral right now, reaching so many communities. I spoke with his parents tonight who hope his story can be a force for good, not only across our state, but the world.
From the day Drake was born, his emotions came through his eyes. He was born with the biggest, beautiful blue eyes.
Drake was a special boy.
He loved to make people laugh. He loved to do what he could to always make sure that somebody had a friend.
He also loved to make people laugh. I used to say he was a goofball.
He loved to love.
He had had some problems at school, though, some instances of bullying.
Drake had a bully. Just one. A single bully. As much as this kid would pick on him about him being small, or that he had crooked front teeth, or his favorite color is purple, Drake always tried to find a way around it to make this kid want to be his friend. I knew about it. The school was aware of it. Instances had happened and suspensions had happened. There was an incident that had happened Monday at school. He'd had a black eye, like a little bit of a black eye, but he had told my daughter, who was his best friend, what had happened. All he told me was, snitches get stitches.
But Wednesday, something was different.
He was very sober. The whole time, he just seemed off. But I look back on it, I don't know if I should blame myself or if I should have seen something more.
Through the tragedy, so many have offered support. Starting the hashtag #DoItForDrake.
I think my daughters came up with that in the hospital. It's a anti-bullying and suicide prevention. Suicides are so high right now. And it's because of hurtful words.
And with this unthinkably tragic event, his parents hope by sharing his story of the bright, athletic, bigger-than-life boy he was, this can prevent it from ever happening again.
I'm angry. I'm angry and I'm hurt and I'm broken. And yet part of me just wants this bully to find peace. To not have any other kids fall. Because who's going to be next?
His parents even sharing that those as far away as Australia have messaged support to them in the wake of this tragedy. They also say they hope you talk to your kids and make sure they know that their actions matter.
On 11 Alive, an investigation is underway into allegations of bullying at Heard County High School following the recent suicide of a freshman student. And tonight a vigil was held for 15-year-old Austin McIntyre. He took his own life on November 6th, and close to 100 people showed up earlier this evening to remember this young man's life.
11 Alive's Cody Alcorn was at the vigil and spoke with Austin's mom.
He was 15. This shouldn't have happened.
This is 15-year-old Austin McIntyre.
He had so much going for him. He was an A-B student, mostly A's, but a few B's now and then. He was athletic on both football and track.
On Friday morning, November 4th, Lisa says Austin didn't want to go to school, told her he was sick. The two went back and forth. Turned out he wasn't sick, but it was a lot worse.
I specifically said, will you please be honest with me? And he said, I'm being bullied at school. A Wednesday, they did what's called pantsed me. They pantsed him with his shorts and underwear.
Lisa says she called the school. The principal assured her the incident was being investigated. The next day,
Saturday, when I got home from work, we had a beautiful afternoon.
Then Sunday, Lisa McIntyre's life changed forever.
That morning, I got up, went to work, called him at 9:26, had a brief conversation with him and said, I love you, I'll see you in a little while. And he said he loved me too, and that was it.
It would be Lisa and Austin's last phone call. The next call was from the Heard County Sheriff's Office. Deputies were at her house, and Lisa rushed home.
And I already knew it wasn't good. He said he's gone, and he shook his head yes. And I just completely lost it.
As Lisa continues to grieve, she's fighting for change.
I want kids to be kind and compassionate and inclusive of everybody. They don't need to isolate kids and make them feel like they're not worth something.
That was Cody Alcorn reporting. The school district said in a statement there is an ongoing investigation into claims of bullying as well as other events that have been brought to light by law enforcement.
I failed. Those are the heartbreaking words left behind by a 13-year-old Staten Island boy just before taking his own life. In a note, Daniel Fitzpatrick says he was mercilessly bullied by peers at his private Catholic school. As CBS 2's Brian Conybeare shows us, his parents now want to send a powerful message about suicide to anyone who will listen.
This is my son. Danny was a kind, gentle little soul. He didn't have a mean bone in his body.
In a tear-filled Facebook video, Daniel Fitzpatrick shares the gut-wrenching pain of losing his 13-year-old son Danny to suicide.
I miss my son very much.
The Fitzpatrick family says Danny hung himself in the attic of their Staten Island home Thursday because he was relentlessly bullied at the Holy Angels Catholic Academy in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. Danny left behind this heartbreaking handwritten note describing the abuse by 5 boys, saying, quote, "They did it constantly, and I gave up. The teachers, they didn't do anything."
I know that bullying on the whole has been taken extremely seriously.
Brooklyn Archdiocese spokeswoman Carolyn Erstad.
Daniel's complaints about bullying did not fall upon deaf ears, and the school truly believes they did everything that they could, and they truly cared.
But that's not enough for this devastated father, who has a message for the parents of the other boys.
You get to hold your children every night and day for the rest of your lives and their natural lives. I don't get that anymore.
The NYPD confirms they are investigating, while the Fitzpatrick family plans a funeral. Reporting from West Brighton, Staten Island, Brian Conybeare, CBS 2 News.
Heartbreaking story. The Fitzpatrick family has also set up a GoFundMe page to give what they say would be a proper memorial for Danny to shine a bright light on bullying.
Tonight, we are learning more about the days and the hours leading up to McKenna Brown's death. The 16-year-old had a bright future in hockey ahead of her, but she took her own life just days before the start of her senior year at Eastlake High School. Her parents say severe bullying and harassment online led her down that tragic path. Fox 13's Jordan Bowen first reported on this story back in August, and he's following up for us tonight as 3 of McKenna's hockey teammates allegedly behind the harassment are now suspended by the league.
I'm devastated and just hollow and broken inside.
It's now been more than 2 months since 16-year-old McKenna Brown took her own life.
She really cared about people. She cared with all of her heart.
A fearless goalie on the ice who put others' needs before her own.
She was the one that would look out for people that felt left out.
Since we first spoke with her mom, Cheryl Brown, in August, more has surfaced about what happened in the hours before her death.
She was attacked. Her integrity was attacked. She was called a bunch of names.
Bombarded with text messages. "You have done all of us so wrong. I hope I never see you again." Brown says the messages were sent to McKenna by a teammate and once close friend of 5 years, who McKenna traveled with to countless hockey tournaments.
McKenna had asked the one friend/teammate if it
she'd mind if she, talked to her ex-boyfriend from 2 years earlier, and she said it was okay. She then realized a few days later that it wasn't okay with a friend based on how she retaliated.
As Brown explains, the messages were in response to a message McKenna sent to the teammate, apologizing for talking to the teammate's ex-boyfriend.
In doing so, it enraged this particular person and just amped up the attack.
Brown says the teammate took to social media, encouraging her followers to cut ties with McKenna.
The intent was to cancel her. In fact, one friend, in quotes, said that her mission was to leave her without a single friend.
Harsh words that Brown believes brought McKenna to a breaking point. Just hours later, she ended her life.
No one's perfect, but how do you do that to somebody? No one deserves that.
Some parents and teammates were appalled after hearing what happened and reached out to the Lightning High School Hockey League to file complaints on McKenna's behalf. Kim Walters and her daughter Sarah were among them.
She always cared about other people, so I knew if that were me, she would be doing the same thing for me and having my back.
The league opened an investigation. So did SAHOF, or Statewide Amateur Hockey of Florida. USA Hockey called in an independent counsel to do their own investigation. So far, Brown says 3 players have been suspended by the high school league pending the investigation's outcome.
They deemed that it was a breach of their code of conduct, cyberbullying code of conduct.
She says she was baffled when she saw the teammate who sent the texts at McKenna's funeral. Do you feel like she has any sense of remorse?
No, I don't, because she had mentioned to one of her friends she got what she deserved.
What did you think when you heard that?
I saw red. I was enraged.
For now, Brown says she's putting her faith in the ongoing investigations, hopeful the teens realize the power behind their words.
I just wish she could have seen through it. The suspensions would have still happened and the repercussions would have been there and she'd still be here.
Reporting in Palm Harbor, Jordan Bowen, Fox 13 News.
Unimaginable heartbreak for that family. If you or a loved one are in a mental health crisis, you can always call the National Suicide Hotline. It is now just 988, and it will connect you with someone to talk to.
This pizzeria
This is my son's favorite place to go.
is special for Leah Pierce and her family, but now they're visiting it with a hole in their hearts.
He was my sunshine because he was my only son.
9-year-old Jamel Miles started 4th grade at Joe Shoemaker's school on Monday, weeks before he had the courage to tell his mom this.
He looked so scared when he told me. He was like, "Mom, I'm gay." And I thought he was playing, and I looked back at him because I was driving, and he was just curled up like this. So scared, and I just looked at him, I was like, "I still love you." He went to school, and he said he was going to tell people he's gay because he's proud of himself.
But on Thursday, heartbreak. Pierce found her son dead in their Denver home. She says he killed himself after being bullied.
4 days is all it took at school. I could just imagine what they said to him. My son told my oldest daughter, the kids at school told him to kill himself. I'm just sad he didn't come to me.
A letter from Denver Public Schools to families Friday says they're providing extra social workers and their crisis team for students. In a statement, the district says it'll continue to offer support to the family.
I'm more so upset that he thought that was his option.
Through this devastation, Pierce wants to spread awareness about the effects of bullying.
Should have accountability for bullying. I think the child should, because the child knows it's wrong, because the child wouldn't want someone to do it to them. I think the parents should be held because obviously the parents are either teaching them to be like that or the parents are treating them like that.
Hoping no parent ever has to go through this pain
Jamel, look at me.
because their child is different from everyone else.
We are learning of more concerns about bullying at a New Jersey high school. This follows the tragic death of Adriana Cush by suicide and the resignation of the school superintendent. CBS 2's Christine Sloan is in Berkeley Township with the latest, and we do want to warn you, some of the video is disturbing.
Students and parents at Central Regional High School in Berkeley Township, New Jersey, reacting to the resignation of school superintendent Trianta Phyllis Parlapanides. His resignation coming more than a week after 14-year-old Adriana Cush died by suicide after this disturbing video was posted on social media, showing students attacking her as she walked with her boyfriend in a hallway at school.
I really don't think it's going to change that much.
I think
The national attention that came to this is what's changing everything.
Adriana's father, who's retained an attorney, told us last week the school didn't call police the day his daughter was attacked, and he believes the reposting of the video drove Adriana to take her own life.
If they called the police and they did an investigation, those girls would not have posted those videos from school.
Sophomore Olivia O'Day says she was attacked at Central Regional High School as a freshman last year. Here's the video her attackers posted online.
It's terrible. It's a terrible feeling. My husband and I jumped in the car. We called the police on our way there. Worst feeling.
Rachel O'Day says the school didn't call police and didn't punish her attackers. She says it's why she pulled Olivia out of school and filed a lawsuit.
Now we're in a time when every single thing is videotaped and put online, and it's changed the face of bullying.
I'm just trying to get justice for every student, myself, and for Adriana.
Berkeley Township's mayor says zero tolerance policies will be reinforced at the high school and programs will be launched. But Adriana's father has told us all of this is a little too late. He wants the entire school administration here replaced.
You know, nobody's talking about the principal, who's ultimately responsible for what happens in the high school.
We reached out to the school district. No one has returned our calls. In Berkeley Township, New Jersey, Christine Sloan, CBS 2 News.
The video starts as a group of students chastising the girl who was eventually bullied. Then it turns into an all-out assault with a variety of juveniles involved. The mother of the girl who was assaulted tells us it went on for several minutes before an adult stepped in. It all happened at the Young Achiever School in Mattapan, a pilot school for kids K through 8 that focuses on science and math. Today, Boston Public Schools issued this statement about the attack saying, quote, BPS is committed to investigating all allegations of bullying and working closely with schools, families, students to fully and holistically support our students as they heal from the trauma caused by the pandemic. Boston police did respond to an assault and battery at the school, and the report gives some details of the attack, but all names are redacted since the group are all juveniles. The victim's mother claims her daughter has been bullied since the start of school this year, and now new BPS Superintendent Mary Skipper says she is committed to this issue as BPS now has a new bullying hotline. Indira Nelson is a parent who lives across from the school.
My thoughts is that the teachers aren't doing their jobs correctly and the parents are not supporting their children correctly. Because they know what kind of children they got. They know they got bad children that they need to be talking to them every morning and correcting them before they go to school. It's just not right. And when somebody ends up hurt real bad, nobody knows nothing.
Tonight, Boston police say there have been no arrests in this case, but there is an ongoing investigation. Today, we talked to parents who say bullying is common inside the school, but Boston Public Schools have not decided if any of these students will be disciplined.
In Florida, 2 girls face felony charges this morning. They're accused of bullying a classmate to the point that she killed herself. Their parents could also face charges. Anna Warner is in Winter Haven, Florida. Anna, good morning.
Good morning, Nora, and good morning, Charlie. Investigators say bullying drove Sedgwick to take her own life. They believe as many as 15 girls were involved in a relentless campaign of harassment. Police say they've arrested these 2 girls now because of what one of them posted online over the weekend.
The sheriff released photos of the 2 girls, one 14 years old and the second just 12. Both are charged with aggravated stalking, a third-degree felony.
In your eyes, what makes these 2 girls' acts criminal?
Because they terrorized her. They did things like, you should die. You should drink bleach and die. You see a pattern of harassment, a pattern of intimidation, and that's what they did. They intimidated this girl. They harassed her. She had no peace.
There was a trigger here for you.
Sheriff Judd says investigators were also troubled by something the older girl posted on social media on Saturday.
She made a comment in reference to, yeah, I bullied Rebecca, and yeah, she's dead, but I don't give a blank. I met with the detectives and their supervisors yesterday afternoon and said, okay, she needs to go to jail. We need to arrest her.
Police said the girls' parents refused to cooperate. Both girls were arrested Monday at their homes. Tricia Norman is Rebecca Sedgwick's mother.
Her birthday Saturday, and I think this is a huge birthday present for her.
Last December, Sedgwick cut her wrists. Then last month, she climbed an abandoned tower in a concrete plant and jumped to her death. Court papers allege the older girl began harassing Sedgwick after she started dating Sedgwick's former boyfriend. The affidavits filed by a police investigator also indicate the younger girl and Sedgwick were once close friends, but that the 14-year-old may have convinced the younger girl to turn on Sedgwick, even getting her to beat up her former best friend.
It just makes me question, where did they learn it from? Kids learn from somewhere.
I think a lot of parents are asking themselves right now, how can this happen?
It shouldn't happen. And it only can happen when parents don't parent their children. You need to know what they're talking about online. You need to know who their friends are. You need to know if they're bullying people at school.